Hi, community. Today we're going to talk about long term and short term. Long term, short term. Most people, so if we are studying and we find out that 78% of people are living paycheck to paycheck, what do you think their mentality is? It's short term, right? If I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I'm not thinking even about next month. I'm thinking about this week. What am I doing this week? What bills do I have to pay? Where am I behind? What's going on? If I have a paycheck to paycheck mentality, I'm thinking about today. I'm thinking about tomorrow. I'm thinking about this week. But I want us to train ourselves to think future, think farther, think year over year. What am I going to do next month? What am I going to do 6 months from now? What do I need to do a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now? Wealthy people think years in advance. Poor people, broke people think weeks in advance. So always try to think about, is the decision that you're making now, so whatever decision you have to do, if you're going to be buying something, if you're going to be saving for something, if you're going to be investing in something, if you're going to be spending, budgeting, whatever it might be, ask yourself, in a couple of years from now, will I be happy with this decision? This is going to help us, one, with delayed gratification, right? If we have that immediate gratification, we're going to say, I just want it now. So I could be thinking, all right, well, I want to go on this weekend trip because I need it. I'm exhausted. All right, well, what is that going to cost me? Is that going to be a good decision years from now, or is that just immediate? Now, it could be absolutely what I need and want and will do because it's just good for me. 2 years from now, am I going to say the same thing? 5 years from now, am I going to say the same thing? I know that kind of thing sounds is kind of ridiculous that I would think multiple years in advance on something like a little weekend trip. But trust me, it will change your life. If you start developing that habit, thinking about the things that you want to do years from now and looking back and saying, hey, is that a good decision? Was that a good decision that I made multiple years ago? And if that answer is yes, then absolutely do it. If you want to build wealth, if you want to not be broke and poor your entire life, think about the future long term and go back and make decisions based on your future self. If your future self can come back and say, hey, you know what? We shouldn't have gone and done this, or we should have done this, then take advice from that. Pull out of yourself, go back, and pull out of yourself and go listen to yourself. Sounds crazy, but think about that in the future. Make decisions based on year to year and even decade to decade versus week to week, month to month, day to day. Short term thinking will keep you in the poorhouse, it will keep you from building wealth. Long term thinking will build you wealth. So make those decisions that you're going to be thankful that you did multiple years from now. Okay, so that's your tip for the day. Make sure you're thinking, train yourself to think long term instead of short term, and you're going to prosper and succeed.